Well, hi everyone. This is Shane R. Monroe. We are live today. Some of you said you actually enjoyed seeing my physical media pickups from thrift stores, so I thought, why not? Let's look at my latest batch of pickups. I have some cool things to show you, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of my other thrift store experiences. So we got two stacks here. As you can see here, I'm paying $2.29 for Blu-rays. Now, of course, you get a variety of conditions, of course. And if you remember from my last video, I always ask you to make sure the disc is in there and check the quality. That needs to be obviously wiped down a little bit, but at least it's not one of those ones that have the holes in them. So that's kind of nice. The Interview, haven't seen it. Why not? For $2.50. Wife wanted this, and she also wanted this. Not my thing. I doubt that code works. So if you caught it, try it. Why not? This one, notice something wrong with this. It's like backwards and upside down, but the disc was in there and it was good, so I picked it up. And finally, look at this Peabody and Sherman. It's actually still sealed. I mean, the plastic is coming off, but it's it's remarkably still sealed. $2.29. This has Ty Burrell from Modern Family, so I was kind of interested to pick this up. We'll just pull this off here. I think this is a crappy, oh, look at that, it's even got the sticker on top still. Do I have my handy dandy cutter? Look at that, I do. Except for I think I broke my cutter with the last video. That's okay. Yeah, you can see it's got these poke through holes. It's so easy to grab it like this and poke a hole through your media, so this will probably get a fresh case. But yeah, of course, this is great. It's brand new shrink wrap, so that's kind of fun. Anyway, so yeah, not necessarily quadruple A movies here, but not too bad. Again, $2.29. This one was $3.29. That's interesting. And I think purple was on sale for like 50% off. So I did well. I did a good pickup on that one. Now on to the CDs, of course. I did pick up a plethora of CDs. Now, it's interesting. I've never seen more than 99 cents for a CD, unless it's one of those big, thick book ones. They charge it like $1.29 or $1.99. But every single one that I picked up was 99 cents. Oddly enough, in other markets, they say that these CDs at Goodwill are going for like $1.99. They're going for, hey now, what's up, Flair? They're going for $1.99, $2.99 even. And I find that very interesting. I'm going to save this one for last because that's kind of interesting. You know, I'm still on the hunt for the absolute best Sinatra album, Bonnie Tyler. So this is nice, right? So this is one of those ones that I'll feel a little guilty pulling out because it does have a custom inlay that says Super Hits on there. This is great if you're a Bonnie Tyler fan. A little salt and pepper. And by the way, if you remember from my last video, we're looking, of course, always for the BMG version without barcodes. And so far, we're 3 for 3. Tom Petty, great album. Barcode. This one's seen better days. We're going to look at this one in a minute. Don't ask, okay? Don't ask. Now, one of the things that I think I mentioned on the last video was collecting soundtracks. Now, I don't ever want to watch Pretty Woman. Ever. But damn it, look at the songs that are on this disc, man. I mean, there's great stuff on here. So I started looking at even movie soundtracks that I'm not interested in the movie, but sometimes the soundtrack's great. David Bowie, Robert Palmer, Roxette. Awesome, and no BMG logo. How about that? Drifters, how could I not pick up the Drifters? Look at all these great songs from there, man. 16 greatest hits. And again, we got Barcode. All right, what the hell, man? The Beatles at a Goodwill? I can honestly say I have never once seen a Beatles album at Goodwill. Not once, not ever. So while, the White Album is not necessarily my particularly favorite Beatles album of all time, by God, if I was going to find a Beatles album in a Goodwill, I'm picking it up. I mean, that's a bad omen if you don't do that. Another Tom Petty. Somebody unloaded their Tom Petty. This one has no barcode. Well, let's look at this one. This is kind of interesting. Why is there no barcode? It does say MCA Records, so it doesn't look like it's one of those weird throwaways. It's got the book. It's very interesting this doesn't have a barcode. So what this says to me is there's a potential that this was a not for resale copy. Now, most of the time you will see that somewhere, not for retail. This might be in here. It's really hard to see. This thing is so small. But essentially, if there's not a barcode in it, it was almost impossible to see at a store, right? Because you couldn't scan it to do it. So it was probably inside of another case that had a barcode over top, but it's really, really unusual, very unusual to see a CD without a barcode. So I thought that was kind of interesting. If nothing else, why is there not a barcode on here? Plus, listen, it's Tom Petty, another good album. All right, and so before we look at this weird one here, I did want to look at this one. So, Elton John's starting to get up there, right? So once he dies, which is probably fairly soon, unfortunately, his albums are going to be really difficult to get. As collectors go out and try to find Elton John stuff. Ripping to, I can't see what you're saying there, Flair. Hang on. I'm not used to using the mobile app for this. This one obviously looks like it was in a Katrina flood. So this one was more a matter of, I hope I want the disc, because this is like, this is crunchy, dude. This is bad. I would probably have to break this case to get this out, which I could do that. What do I care? There's nothing special about the case, and the disc is in okay shape. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and we'll mitigate this. So we'll break this guy off. We'll set that to the side. And if I really want this out, I'm probably going to have to separate this so I can get this out. This thing is, oh, there we go. Boy, I don't know what the hell happened to this thing, but like I said, Katrina flood maybe. So it depends on what it is. This looks like coffee or something like that. So I can sit here and massage this guy, right? And maybe I can get, oh my God. Well, from a collector's perspective, I think we're SOL on this one. Yeah, it's not salvageable. But on the other hand, if I ever find another copy of this that has a really crappy disc but a really nice insert, I'll be able to use it. This is interesting. This is one of those cover groups. Remember I was telling you that sometimes you'll pick up like an Elton John or one of these discs and you'll be like, hey, who the hell is that singing that song? Well, this has got a ton of very famous people singing Elton John songs. This to me is like, this will be great. I mean, look at this. Beach Boys, The Who. Come on. How could I not want that? Bon Jovi, Tina Turner, Hall & Oates. This is great. And again, the disc is in okay condition. Crap on there, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I've never seen one of these before. I've seen a lot of Elton John at Goodwill. I've rarely seen Elton John, this particular collection of Elton John covers. So I'm excited to rip and listen to this. It's a real shame this media couldn't be saved, but that's the way it is. Now, here's something that I thought was really interesting. I picked it up because it's got cool songs on it, right? I mean, so I pick it up, I look at it, I'm like, I pick up a lot of these, Get Up and Dances or That's Music or whatever. And this has got a great track lineup. I mean, I Want Candy, We Got the Beat, all sorts of great 80s songs. And it does have a barcode, right? So, okay, cool. But Old Navy? Like the clothing store Old Navy? So for cool kids and groovy grown-ups, and again, Old Navy's like all over this thing. Old Navy, Old Navy. I think there's even Old Navy on the spine. Old Navy, Old Navy, Old Navy. Go to the back, Old Navy, Old Navy. So what the hell is this thing, right? So, and it wasn't until I got home and I started looking at it, like, what the hell was Old Navy doing cutting an album? Well, you can check down here and it will tell you. So this is a Sony Music special product. It's a $1 donation was made from this purchase, which by the way was $8.50, which I don't know what the date is on here. What's the date? 1998. So do the math. What was $8.50 in 1998, right? So this was a promotional fundraising disc by Old Navy, Old Navy, Old Navy, Old Navy. And make sure they get that plug all over the place. But yeah, and you can see it's a great set of tunes. And again, inside it says $1 donation was made from this purchase. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen this before. I'll probably never see one again. All of the music was under license, so these are all original artists with the original songs. Footloose, Kenny Loggins. Really hard to go wrong when you see one of these types of kind of, I wouldn't not call it limited edition or anything crazy like that, but interesting promotional items. Sometimes you can find some really interesting stuff. One thing I was going to show you guys with this round of CDs when I brought them back, one of the things you'll notice if you've got a Goodwill like mine is these stickers are annoying as hell. And honestly, getting them off is a real chore. You're talking hair dryer, you're talking Goo Gone, whatever. It's actually sometimes just easier to replace the case, right? This one I managed to peel off pretty well. But for these ones that really interfere, right, they start getting all nasty. One of the things you can do, believe it or not, I mean, no, this sounds stupid. It's like, duh, is just come in here with like a box knife and just do a nice little clip right there. Now, what this does is it makes the disc open the way it's supposed to, right? So it's nice and easy to access. Now, this will probably end up being pulled out and put into a sleeve, right? So it's no big deal. But for those who don't want to spend the effort, right, to completely gut these things or whatever, or try to peel these off, a simple cut will take care of the used case. I don't know why they decide they want to put it here. But a nice simple cut will make the disc very usable. It won't get stuck to your artwork down here. And maybe you can get in here and pull it off. But this is what I've started doing for the ones that I'm not putting into sleeves. It's just easier to keep things tidy. So, yeah, it was a nice pickup. Again, 99 cents a piece, right? You can't go wrong with that. Actually owning music for 99 cents for a whole album. Some of these have 10, 20 tracks on them. That's unbelievable. Look at this Sinatra disc, right? So again, those of you who are part of my Sinatra hunt, I'm always looking for the best collection of songs, like all the stuff of his that I know. Like My Way's on here, New York, New York's on here, right? You never find those two on the same album. What's the Love and Marriage, right? That's the other one. There it is, right there, Love and Marriage. So like all of the good stuff that you want. What's the other one? There's like 5 tunes that are never Strangers in the Night's on here. So anyway, for those of you who are Sinatra fans like me, it's nice to finally be able to have like one disc that has pretty much the goods on it. Except for, I just realized that I got screwed. This is not, look at this. Look at this. I'm doing it live right here. I got screwed. I opened it up and I pulled the disc out and I looked at the back. What I did not do was look at the front. And guess what? I got screwed. This is not the best of Sinatra. It's Engelbert. And I don't know if this is like Engelbert Humperdinck or what, but I got taken. It was 99 cents. I got a nice case with no greatest hits collection of Frank Sinatra. So even those of us who've been thrifting for a while, we can still get taken from time to time. Well, there you go. This was my pickup. I went to 4 Goodwills to obtain my stuff, and I think we did pretty good. Hey, listen, if you enjoy this thing, leave a comment down below. If you want to see more of my thrift store pickups, I do have another live video I'm going to do either tomorrow night or the night after. I found a childhood toy. Now, remember, I'm like in my mid-50s, so childhood's a long time ago. I've got an amazing thing to show you from my childhood that, well, it'll probably blow your mind. It blew my mind to see it. So stick around for that at some point. And yes, we'll be trying to do more of these. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. Oh, yes, ripping to flak will definitely happen.